Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for being there for me. Thank you. I want to thank you for the new subscribers. I want to thank you for all who have subscribed. I want to thank you for the views you're giving me. I want to thank more those returning viewers. It has been so overwhelming and I'm really happy about it. Thank you and welcome back. I've been away for a while and it hasn't been for granted, like maybe I'll just sit back doing nothing. I've been looking at something else that I want to share with you today. I know it won't be that long conversation, but at least you're going to get something from it. So today, I think I have a steamy hot topic to share with you. So we have adolescents near us. Maybe they are kids, they are our cousins, they are people maybe who we are caring about. Like teachers, we have them in school. At home, we have those relatives who are teenagers who are in adolescence. So today, I would like us to share about that. So, adolescents, they go through so much, and at times they get misinformed about things that concern them. So I thought it would be a good idea to come out and try to shed some light on things that they are going through, things that they should have to face. And this, I thought of looking at sexuality and sex. Yeah, sexuality and sex. So today, before I start talking about sexuality and sex, I want us to differentiate between sexuality itself and sex. So, what is sexuality? What do you understand by the term sexuality? What do you want to understand? And what is your take on sexuality? And on the other hand, what is sex? It has so many meanings. But on this topic, we're just going to dwell on one meaning of sex. So, welcome. Let's start by sexuality. What is sexuality? So, sexuality is the orientation of an individual. Is the orientation of an individual, as in what he perceives about sex and how his body is. So sexuality is something that is going to be here, as in the kids are going to have to pass through. Right now they're also going through it. So it will form their future and it is also going to form their past. So we as adults, we won't let our kids or people who depend on us maybe start on the wrong foot. That's why I tried reflecting on this. And I want you as parents also to research on it and share with your children. Create time for them. So we're going to talk about what does sexuality entail. And sexuality entails like 4 to 3 core things that you're going to look about, we are going to see. The first one is sensuality, the sense of a person. You know, everyone is sensible in their own way. So we should respect that as parents and anyone taking care of the adolescents. So the first one is sensuality, and the second one is intimacy, or intimacy. And the third one about sexuality is identity. So people will want to identify with a certain group of people living different intimacy as sexuality. And the other one is behavior. So this behavior are the ones that will drive you into classifying their type of sexuality. And the last one is reproduction and sexuality itself. So reproduction, maybe you look at this one. Who is it? As in, you just look at this one, you see reproduction, as in mostly the reproduction part. So we're not going much to dwell on the sexuality. I wanted us to look at the most interesting part of the adolescent's life. And that part to me is about sex. Yeah, you heard it really well, to sex. So sex, sex, sex. What do you understand by the term sex? So I've given the explanation or the meaning of sex as an activity of sexual intercourse. So this is the topic that we have to tackle it with our adolescents. We have to tackle it with our adolescents. Sorry. We're going to tackle this topic with our adolescents. First of all, things you have to know about sex. I know it is not an easy topic to talk about with our children or people who see us like we are in authority. But you should try. Try your level best to educate people under you, the children, the teenagers and the adolescents. Try as much as you can to educate them about sex. Sex brings so many things to us. As we reflect on our lives, sex might have affected us negatively or positively, but mostly the negative part outweighs the positive part when you start indulging in early sex. So my question is, sex or no sex? Yeah, sex or no sex? Yeah, so it depends. You have so many answers to that question. So sex in adolescence, I think we should try and find some ways on talking to them about the sex. And in adolescence, our children, they're going through so many things and they're really fast, they're developing, they're seeing so many changes in their body, they're having these feelings. So we should try to be very close to them and look out for them and discuss it. So my taking is that sex should remain for maybe adults. But there's some situation that you get the adolescents are participating in sex, they're having sex, they're sexually active. So you should start talking to them earlier about this sex. Also, the question that I had put across, are we going to allow our adolescent to be sexually active? As per my take, I'm not going to allow it. But what I want may not reflect in what I see in them. So my part is just to educate them about it. And you should also try to educate them about this one. So sex, I know it is a hard topic for us as parents and caregivers to talk about. Mostly we learn about it in school, but in school mostly we just talk about the basics. We don't get that time to talk deeply about it. And when you talk about sex with adolescents, it should not be like one day thing that you talk and you're done and dusted. Oh no. This thing that will keep on recurring, you have to talk, as in you have to create time to be talking about it now and then. So you should look out for things to talk about sex. I know it is an obscene. Some people not even want to hear the word itself. Some people not even want to pronounce the word sex. It is just a short word, just 3-letter word. But some people really fear talking about it. And trust me or not, If we don't talk about this, they are going to find information about it from other sources. And I will appreciate if we talk about it with them before they explore and get it somewhere, as in they start exploring and getting somewhere. So you have so many sources of this information about sex. Like you have the television, we have the internet, people can read about it. And also we know peer, they can decide to talk about it. So my worry is not about how they found it out there, but my encouragement is like, let's us be the first people that are getting information about it. And let us be so much open, so much friendly to them. Let's discuss it one-on-one. Let's create the environment that they should be able to ask questions, and we should be in a position to respond to those questions. So that is my view. And I know if we practice this one, we are going to equip our adolescents with the knowledge they need before doing it or having it or making whatever they have to make. So let's be the first source of information, and let's find so much information. So our youth, they are going to have intimacy, as in the adolescents. They are going to have intimacy at some point. So with this knowledge that they're going to have intimacy at some point, that's why I've tried to look at it. And to parents and people around them, not all relationships that these teens have, they will lead to sex. So you should stop, like, as in when they have relationship, is try to look into it, but you should not just start dismissing every and each relationship they have. You should know at this point, these children of ours, the adolescents, they are making friendship, their social life becomes so wider, and as in it will form a basis on who they will become in future. So try talking sense into them, try talking positive things about them. Let's build them, let's not break them down. So the first thing I asked also, are we going to let our children, our teenagers, our adolescents to be sexually active? Are you going to be happy to see your child, your boy, your son, your daughter, and your cousins or children that you have left under your care being much active sexually? Yeah. Are you going to do it? No. Let's try our level best. Let them have knowledge about sex before they start engaging in it, if they must. So, for us to talk about sex, there's so many things that we should keep into consideration as caregivers and as parents. There's so many things that you should know. There's this point that you should know. I've listed, I'm going to talk about few of them. The first point is that you should remain an important role model to your children or to the children that look up to you. So we should always try on this. We should always try to be, as in to be positive. Do things that when your son or your daughter or people under your care, the adolescents under your care, try to do it. It's not going to offend you. So let's try to be a role model to them, an important role model. And when you are an important role model, you feel really nice when children turns out to be what you want them to be. The second one, we should know as parents and caregivers that sexuality our sexuality and the sexuality of our children will always differ, will be different. As in the sexual life of your son, daughter, or people are taking care, the children you're taking care of, they are not going to be the same as yours. No. In a way, they're going to differ, just maybe a little or very much different. So we should learn to embrace to embrace and talk to them. Let them know what you want them to be, or what you want them, how you want them to carry themselves. Another one thing that you should have to know is your expectations about sexuality of the children, of the adolescent, may be different. Maybe you expect your child to walk in this path and he's taking another path, he's doing something so different. So that one will also depend on the environment you're raising your kid in, and the people he's looking up to, and also the influence they have on them. So your expectation of the sexuality of your child will differ, will be different, might be different from your expectations. Then you also have, when you're talking about sex with your children or with the people under you, sometimes it's so awkward. You're not used to talking about sex. So maybe your child will feel awkward, you also feel awkward. And let me assure you, it is just correct. And that's how we are going to feel. It is not something that maybe you just feel, all of you expect you to be okay with it, the child to be okay with it. For the first time, it is going to be very much awkward, and I assure you that one. But when you keep on talking about it, it becomes somehow, you come somehow used to it, and the awkwardness maybe will go away. And another thing, sorry, I'm sorry. We have to make the rules clear as the children grows from the young age. Have your rules as a parent, those rules are the ones that are going to guide our children into doing maybe the correct thing, making the correct decision, and talking openly about sex and issues that surround sex. We should know we are in a very difficult environment. We are raising our children in a very difficult environment. Every person have their own way how they lived it. And maybe you may not like the way they're living it. But you may not tell the other grown-up person to live as you want. But you can guide your baby to live, as in to be positive, to know how to deal with issues pertaining sex. So we should start these topics talking about them very early, knowing that they should at one point be sexually active. Okay? Yeah. So when you're talking about, when are you supposed to talk about sex? To me, I know there is no perfect time to start talking about sex. But what I know, we should start at any time, today, tomorrow. So these are the factors that you are going to consider when you are going to have that talk with your adolescent kid. So the first one, you should start conversation as early as possible. Don't just wake up, maybe your child is now, maybe he has done something that you don't see it as the right thing, and you start talking about this, and this. So that one will not be the right thing, the right time, the right way to go. So we are with these children. We are raising them. Let's not expect that someone else is teaching them or talking about sex with them. Let's just believe that we are the first one, and we are going to start an early stage to talk about them. So they have started forming relationships. Start talking about it with them. They're also, so I said you should start talking, we should start having this conversation about sex in early stages. So this one will ease the tension when talking about some sensitive issues when they're somehow grown. They'll take it as normal conversation, but they will use it to their good. So start it early. Start maybe at, as they develop, they also, the affections as in their feelings are also growing. So we should start talking at them at the early age. And the second one, before you come up with this topic, to talk to your children about it. And the children, these are the teenagers, the adolescents. So before you come up with this topic, I should urge you to be prepared. You should look for information, look for details, research, read, watch. Do one on three things before you sit them down to start talking about. At this age, they are really curious. And if your relationship with your children, your adolescent is so neatly, so close together, they will ask so many difficult questions. They also want that time to air their views about sex. And with that, you should be in a position to correct them where you think is not the correct thing, that what they perceive about sex. And also, as a teacher here, you are going to teach them, as in a form of a conversation. You should be with so many tips, so many points that you're going to talk about pertaining sex. Another thing that you should put in consideration before you talk about sex is choosing the words you use. So you should choose your word very carefully when you are talking about sex with your children. A slight or a bad choices of the words will either keep the children away, they will not want to listen to you, or they'll just listen but will not practice what you're going to tell them. So in the choice of the words, these are the things that you're going to consider when choosing those words. The first one is the age. So adolescents are like children and adolescents, they vary, their ages varies. So you are not going to talk the way you're going to talk to maybe a 9-year-old, a preteen, a 10-year-old, 12, is not the same way you're going to talk to a 17-year-old. It is different. So choose the word appropriately. The grammar, as not the grammar, the main words you are going to use. Are they, as in when you are using the words, keep in mind that they should understand what you are telling them. Try to break the topic into much simpler topic, as in the terms you're going, make them more simple and more understandable for the age. Also, we are raising also children with different ability. They're able differently. They also go through this. So we should look for the words you're going to explain to them about sex or talk to them about sex without offending them. They should be part of that conversation. And we should cater for their needs, for their needs. And the last one, but not the least on my list, we should read the signals, children's signals. Read your child's signal before starting talking to it. This one is an important topic, a very nice one, a very educative one. And you shouldn't just want to talk and the information just go by. You want to talk and the children or the people, your audience, to follow what you are teaching them or to participate in the conversation. So let's look at the signals, like is my adolescent kid busy right now? If he's busy, there's no need of pushing him to listen to you. Wait for the right time when he's not busy, when he's just himself. And is he tired? If tired, also let him rest and talk later. And another one, is your adolescent kid distracted with something, let them concentrate on that one. Finish fast. When they are done is when you can introduce this conversation. We as parents should be tolerant, as in wait for them when they are ready, as in look at the signals. They show you they are ready for this topic, then bring it up. So we have talked about it in a detailed way, and I'm still thanking you for following me, for subscribing, and for inviting your friends, for the comments that you left down there. They are really doing good. Also for my friends who have just called to let me, as in just to appreciate the little thing I'm doing. I'm very much grateful, to encourage me, to tell me how to do it, to pass this information. Thank you very much, and I hope I'm making you proud. You are getting something to share with your children. And to add on that, please just do more research. I might not have touched on everything that needs to be touched, but with your research also, you're going to get a lot of information that will be so much vital for this topic when you're talking to the people, to your audience. Thank you very much. And those people who are returning to watch my videos, thank you. Feel welcome to watch whichever time you want. Invite people. Subscribe. Allow them to, encourage them to subscribe. So this topic, I'm done with it for today. And you can't wait for the next topic. It will be so thrilling, so interesting. Youth who are outside there, please look out for my next video. We are still going to look at sex, and it is going to be at another level. This one was just basics, and you're going to look at it now in details. Thank you very much. May God bless you. And also, you as adolescents, look out, read, as in liaise with your with the pastors and your imams. You know what the Bible and the Quran talks about sex, and follow it. Let it be your guide in your decisions. I know they're hard decisions to make, but do it for your future. This one is coming in handy. Most people are regretting, but I say there's no reason for regretting on how maybe you failed in a place that maybe if you did something that maybe I've talked about, you could not have gotten yourself in that mess. But you should know, we learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are there to be, as in we have to run in some mistakes so that we better ourselves, we make ourselves better. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for loving me.